I love how it actually moves with your face too.
Yeah, it's good, right? It works out nicely. Flame of Undun.
Yeah.
I am the holder of the secret. What's the line? Holder of the secret
fire of something.
Yeah, Flame of Undun.
Wielder of the flame of Arnor.
Yeah, I gotta look it up.
Anur. It's
you
not Arnor.
Shall not pass. Are we live?
That's really good. Yes, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special The One Ring live stream. This is the first time we've ever done a results show.
Yeah,
Middle Earth. Go ahead.
Middle Earth March Madness, baby. This is the first time in our, what is this, the 7th year? Or no, 8th year, potentially.
We've been doing it a long time now.
Yeah, and this is the first time we're revealing the votes right after the survey closed, and we have for you the results of round 1 for the best film scenes.
Yay!
Pretty exciting. What do you think, Justin? Who do you think's? And there's some really cool things that happen in this first round, and I can't wait to go over each one. But we should probably
second breakfast.
Yeah, well, we should probably introduce folks, though. I'm the great and powerful Kalasuri, using a filter for a snap filter for my Gandalf theme. I had nothing Lord of the Rings except Saruman right down there, and he's hiding behind me. So I figured a wizard hat, and then flames. Oh wait, why do the flames not work? Flames, man. Oh, there you go.
They're a little bit more random than we thought, I guess.
You shall not pass. And we also have Justin.
Hello, everybody, and we have thousands and thousands of votes to tally up. Kalasuri has been working hard all afternoon. The polls just closed, and man, I'm excited to see who won. And I think I voted a lot different than our other guest right now, Kathy.
Probably. I'm Kathy or Garfei Mao, so you guys would see me most often at Comic-Con, WonderCon, kind of making everybody kind of hurting kids.
Otherwise known as those public events that'll never happen again.
Yeah.
Omar in the chat room says hello, and is this Torn Thursday?
Yep, I guess so.
Yeah.
It's the Middle Earth March Madness Middle Earth edition, right?
If you watch any reality show, you know that there's a results show every week, and so we're just calling this the results show, brought to you by our friends at Sideshow Collectibles and Pepsi.
Wait, hold on. Nope.
Nope.
Not officially approved that. All right, let's oh wait, you saw my head for a second.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. Oh my, you just go out of frame there.
All right, so here's the deal. We are going to go division by division. We're going to start with the tearjerker division. But let me first say a few things, a little stats about what happened here. We had over 5,500 people vote in the first round. That's a lot of people for this particular event.
Guy James Clender. What's up, Guy Clender? I see you.
Hey, Guy. Hi, Guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of boredom out there, so that explains part of it.
I see Chelsea Schwartz, Sarah Draper, you're always a wonderful addition. Ella, I see Vicky, I see Star Welter and Princess Toy Nerd. You guys are so awesome for our special results show for Middle Earth March Madness.
So a couple more stats. 98% of the people who started the survey completed it.
Yay!
That's pretty impressive. And the second most participation came from the UK. The first was the US by a lot. But oddly enough, New Zealand did not represent well in our polling this time around.
Well, they are under quarantine.
Yeah, but we're all under quarantine.
No, they're just getting quarantine.
They're just getting used to it.
Yeah, I guess so. So it goes United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, Australia, Italy, France, and the Netherlands.
Well, that's all
So
you had to say to get New Zealanders to up their game.
That
is
Australia
that
was beating
Australia's
them?
above is yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That'll work right there.
And like I said, we had over 5,500 votes. So let's get, you guys want to get to the results here?
Let's see it.
Tearjerkers.
I need to find an audio clip from the soundtracks that we can play. The drums in the deep. Boom, 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 boom.
All right.
Ooh,
Here we go.
Fancy.
Now, those of playing at home, actually, hosts, you guys can actually annotate on here if you wanted to through Zoom. So let's just start with the biggest upset of them all, oddly enough. For some reason, the Grey Havens was ranked number 1. Bow to No One, number 16. So the 16 seed won decisively in this scenario.
That is the biggest upset I've ever seen. A first pick goes down in the first round.
And it was close. It was a 57% choosing Bow to No One. Aragorn to the Hobbits, you bow to no one.
I don't get that. I mean, all of the Hobbits were crying in the Grey Havens.
Yep.
Still
but
doesn't
apparently it was much more tear-jerking at that scene in Return of the King. All right, moving on to our 8th seed versus the 9th seed. Éomer finding Eowyn on the fields of the Pelennor fields, right?
That's one of my favorites.
Yep, and that was about a 65% margin of victory there. I'm sorry, 65% of the people voted for Éomer and Eowyn on the Pelennor fields over Arwen sees her future. I think if I, can be a little bit controversial, I think a lot of people still don't like Arwen that much, and I think that played into this particularly close matchup, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, Twitter, it was a really nice sequence. I really did like that sequence of showing her future.
Yeah.
But, and of course, the Éomer finds Eowyn is only in the extended edition, but it's gut-wrenching, so that's a good one.
Twitter was abuzz with the Éomer finds Eowyn scene. So based on the tweets alone and the conversation happening this week, I could have predicted that. Éomer is a strong one.
All right, what about the next one? It was a close matchup because we had two pivotal Sam scenes. There's some good in this world speech from Sam, and then also Sam carrying Frodo up Mount Doom.
And of course, with that, all I hear is that beautiful flute solo of when Sam picks him up,
Yeah.
I mean, that's why that one's a tearjerker for me, but I can get behind Sam, some good in this world as well.
So coming out on top with 54% of the vote is there's some good in this world.
Yeah. Because for me, the part that really sells that is when you finally hear him say the line, and then you see Gollum realizing he's on the wrong side of that equation.
Yep. Justin just pointed out that we're supposed to be revealing these things. Justin, I can only do it on the next one. See, I'm going to go like this. Oh, wait, no, don't want to annotate. I can go like this and then get in. Oh, good. See?
Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay, we're going to do that next time. But I had to start somewhere. So these aren't really revealed, right?
Yeah.
Can I erase my annotations? Yes.
I'll clear them.
There you go.
I haven't figured out how to do any of that because I'm not going to try.
All right. So we have Theoden's death and Pippin finding Merry. And
why does it say Thorin's death?
Oh.
Yes.
No. It does. No. Theoden's death right here.
No, that says Thorin's death.
Oh, no. You're right.
Which is the number 6 below.
Let's fix it.
Yeah.
No, wait. This goes here. Notice the official one isn't out yet, so we'll have to make a note. This is going into here.
Yes.
This did not win. There you go. Yeah, that's no, but that was a very, very close matchup. That was the closest of the entire tournament so far.
Finding Merry and Theoden, yeah.
Yep. It was a difference of only 150 votes
Wow, that really is close.
out of 5,500.
So Theoden was the choice in the actual polling. And so
Yes.
people were voting on Theoden. So this is a mistake right here. Everyone in the chat room, thank you for being on point.
All right, then we get to the one which I copied and pasted. You know, that one was incorrectly copied and pasted.
Yeah.
Thorin's death and Sam saying goodbye to Frodo. This one wasn't very close. And obviously, this is when Sam says goodbye to what he believes is a dead Frodo and takes the ring after the Shelob sequence. That is a pretty powerful moment.
Yeah, it is.
People were asking in the chat room, how did you vote? You go to the onering.net and there's a Middle-earth March Madness post near the top with a link to our polling partner. So that's how you vote. This is just round one. After tonight, you'll be able to vote in round two, and that will go on for a few more days, and then we'll do another announcement results show after round two is done.
Round two, as you can see at the top here, starts on the 3rd, which will be tomorrow, probably around 10 Eastern in the morning. And we'll go to the 5th at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Which will be Sunday.
And then we'll have another live show like this revealing the winners. We'll try to actually reveal the winners. Oh wait, now our stuff is all messed up. All right, next we have Gandalf's Fall, which, I mean, come on. How could,
Yeah.
How could you even vote against Gandalf's Fall?
No. Well, and it's not just Gandalf's Fall. If I remember correctly, the long description is the Fellowship's reaction to Gandalf's Fall.
Right. That whole sequence. The Fellowship reacts to Gandalf's Fall in Moria versus Sam laments not seeing Rosie. I mean, it was a very clear winner. 80% of the votes going to the Fellowship reacting to Gandalf's Fall in Moria.
Shout out to Star Welters in the chat saying credit to Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens for writing the sum of good in this world speech.
Right. Yep.
That was not fully Tolkien. That wasn't Tolkien's words at all. In fact, the hobbits never go to Osgiliath by Tolkien's own hand.
We shouldn't be even here. I mean, I love the fact that they actually put the words in his mouth. By rights, we shouldn't even be here.
So we're watching all the chats, guys. YouTube, if you're watching, I'm responding to Facebook and I'm responding to Periscope and Twitch. We're live on all the platforms, and so if you see me responding to someone, it might be because there's another chat room on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Periscope.
All right, so now we're on to Bilbo saying goodbye to the dwarves and Sam finding Frodo in Cirith Ungol. It's a tough choice. It was a close vote.
But the T at Bag End works.
Yes, and ultimately, with 52% of the vote, Bilbo's farewell to the dwarves moves on to the next round.
Yay!
And then, I mean, this 15 is not even. I mean, the Boromir's death versus Philly's death. I mean,
wasn't close.
Let me ask you this, guys. Do you feel that Philly's death should have been as powerful as Boromir?
No. Nope.
Just going in, but
okay, it could have been. I mean,
but it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, because it was always about Thorin. I mean, in the book, it's the relationship with Thorin, because most of the dwarves were sort of just names and people that were part of it. They didn't all have really strong identities in the book. It was just Thorin, Balin, maybe one or two others, and that's it.
Very good. Ross Jakeman says Kia ora. So I think New Zealand is watching.
All right, great. Hey, so that is our tearjerker bracket.
That's a tearjerker category. Again, guys, tomorrow morning.
Can we preview the new lineups though, real quick, before we run on? I mean, like now.
Oh yeah, sure. Bow to
Because
No One versus Éomer finding Eowyn. I'm pretty sure Bow to No One is going to move on. That's my prediction. Even
I
at the
would
16th
prefer
seed.
Éomer finds Eowyn, but then again, that's because I cosplay Eowyn.
Some Good in This World still at number 12 seed. And Theoden's death, not Thorin's death.
Theoden's death. Yeah.
Theoden's death. It's tough. I'm still thinking that the number 12 seed's going to go through on that one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just because of the relevance to the current timing.
Yeah.
You have. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, though, a niece saying goodbye to her uncle on a battlefield is also fairly,
Yep. Look at this matchup coming up, though. You got Gandalf's fall, the reaction to Gandalf's fall, and Sam leaving Frodo for dead, essentially, thinking he's dead.
Yeah,
and
that
taking
one's
the
going to
ring
be
himself.
tough. That one's going to be tough.
And he guesses there, Justin, which one's going to come out?
Gandalf's fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's clearly I mean, heck, it was filmed and edited to be a tearjerker.
Yeah. The music.
Yep.
Pippin in Mary's lap. I mean, just bawling his eyes out.
Still the only music from Lord of the Rings ever licensed for another movie franchise.
Really?
The very first teaser trailer for Zack Snyder's Superman movie used Gandalf's fall music.
I remember that.
Wow.
I remember that. Yep.
Very controversial use. I personally love the use of it, and I thought it was appropriate, but it was kind of a cheap shot. As soon as you hear it, I'm crying in the theater, and then there's a Superman cape.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we all cried for other reasons about that. All right, let's go to the next category. Everyone's anticipating it so much.
Okay.
Although I must say, Bilbo's farewell to the dwarves versus Boromir's death, I'm still going to go with Boromir's death on that
Yeah,
one.
Boromir's death is pretty much the one. All right, so we're going into scenic, right?
Yep.
All right, coming down in the scenic. I'm still on the wrong thing.
I'll clear that. Okay, good.
Okay.
Whee! Oh.
Lighting the beacons. There is no choice. Come on, the number one seed. That is the number one seed for the entire tournament. Lighting the beacons.
And ultimately, it won with 85% of the vote in that round.
Well, it's one of those ones, again, the music and the marrying of the music in that sequence and the visual is some of the most perfectly matched I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
All right, we got the 8th seed Witch King coming out of Minas Morgul.
Move it up.
Versus, no, I'm not going to put it up because that shows the result.
Oh,
the Witch King
okay.
at Minas Morgul.
Okay.
At the 8th seed versus the 9th seed of Bilbo going above the trees and seeing the butterflies.
I'm going to go with Minas Morgul.
Bilbo and the butterflies.
All right, and the winner is...
We're opposite.
I told you at the beginning.
The winner is... Hold on. What happened here? Oh, I lost it. The suspense. Hold on.
His scrolly function is broken.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to step out for a minute.
Okay.
Hello, Aruvandi. Thank you for jumping in at 10 p.m. at night. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is the live results show. If you've watched Dancing with the Stars, you know that's exactly what they call it.
Here
The live
comes.
results show. And here's the results of the next matchup.
All right, and the winner is the Witch King leaving Minas Morgul.
Oh,
There's a surprise, right?
My team, my one didn't win.
I would have to send you something tomorrow.
All right, let's keep going.
Wait, is it possible that this
You know what? Holland America
was 100%? No, it was not. Hold on now.
Of the actual cruise.
It was a significant victory, but it was 100. What is an 100%?
Christian Kronauer says he liked Ralph Bakshi's butterfly scene.
Yes, yep, definitely.
Okay, well, why do you agree with him?
Oh, that's because that was the first introduction of it visually, I think, for anybody on screen, and it was much more beautiful, and it wasn't nearly as dire, in my opinion. That's what I was hoping to see on screen, but we sort of didn't really get. The clear distinction between under the canopy and above the canopy was in that version much more than in the Hobbit version.
Okay, well, people in the chat room agree with me. Bilbo definitely deserved that win, but let's move on.
All right, we're going on to Saruman's.
I like Witch King and Minas Morgul. Sorry.
So
I see you, Fausto, in South Africa. Thank you for tuning in.
Saruman's army at the 5th seed versus the first glimpse of Mordor. That's an interesting battle. Who do we think won?
I have no dog in this race.
So Saruman overlooking his army, right? He walks out on the patio.
And Wormtongue cries a single tear.
Yeah. And Frodo and Sam's first glimpse of Mordor.
Which would have been on that mountain, on that hillside before Sam slides down the hill.
Yep.
Yeah, that's their first.
With 66% of the vote.
I kind of think I'm going to go with
Saruman's army. I mean, that's no contest. I mean, Wormtongue speaks for us all in that single tier.
By the way, out there and is hit with it in the face.
Shout out to Brad Dourif for bringing a performance that was just totally unexpectedly perfect.
Creepy. Yes.
He brought so much to that character. I mean, I think in any other actor, it's kind of a bit of a small role, maybe a little bit of a throwaway kind of cheesy thing, kind of like what we got with that John. What's his name in The Hobbit? Just played it a little too cheesy. All right,
here we go. So the next lineup is we have the Fellowship entering the main hall of Moria. That's a 4th seed versus 13th seed. The Fellowship sees Rivendell for the first time. This actually was a much closer matchup than some might expect.
I voted for Moria.
I kind of voted for Moria too, although I thought Lothlorien would be hard to beat.
Rivendell, you mean? Yes, going against Rivendell. And Rivendell comes out on top. Fellowship seeing Rivendell for the first time with 53% of the vote.
And what confuses me about that is this when we see the 4 hobbits wandering around and meeting for the first time in Rivendell, because that's the only time you really see it a lot, or is it when they're like Boromir and Gimli are arriving into Rivendell and Legolas when they're riding into Rivendell? Because I don't know of a scene where the Fellowship sees Rivendell.
Kathy, you were more intimately involved in the creation of this, so you're the one who's got to answer.
This one never made sense to me. I actually asked for clarification of Pat on this one. I was like, what does this one mean?
Oh, yes. I have a feeling it means the hobbits arriving or actually maybe it is the men coming in on the horses and getting off.
Because for me, the real time that you really see Rivendell for the first time is when Bilbo sees it for the very first time.
I think people are messing it up. It's all right. I think they're all combining it into one. It's all right.
Yeah, South Carolina and Ohio, I see you. Welcome to our special live results show for round 1 of Middle-earth March Madness. The next matchup is going to be
the number 6 seed, the Fellowship sails past the Argonath in Fellowship, versus the 11th seed, the Fellowship enters Lothlorien. All right.
For me, it was the Argonath. I had never seen anything like that. I feel like I'd always been promised in every fantasy film I'd ever seen, a deep history of monumental achievement. And this was the first time where I was like, wow, they did it.
What got me was that they put it on a poster before the movie came out. I would have loved to have seen it for the first time in the movie, as opposed to having it on a poster and then just having the nice music and having them look at it for the first time. But so I sort of feel like we were sort of cheated that first view, but I don't know. Your mileage may vary.
All right, so 75% of the vote goes to Sailing Past the Argonaut.
Yay!
Yes.
All right, so our next matchup is the Fellowship going on the which one? Let's see. Karatas? No. What is this one? The Fellowship going over the mountain pass. Oh, that's just the classic. Yeah, the trailer. The which, I think gets used everywhere now. And that probably speaks to what might have won in this category versus the 14th, the Fellowship taking the path of Karatos. I can't even say it anymore. And the winner,
Yeah, I think
Fellowship taking the mountain pass. I think that was a pretty clear 3 seed. Next we have Eowyn at Meduseld, which is another, right? Completely iconic moment, sweeping camera.
Oh yeah.
No digital effects, by the way.
Wind, lots of wind.
Yep, lots of the banner goes flying, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's lots of wind in that canyon. I mean, I've been there. It's always windy there.
And that's the number 7 seed versus the 10th seed, which is Bilbo seeing Rivendell for the first time.
Wow.
And with 65% of the vote, Eowyn at Meduseld. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I did not know what Meduseld was or is. I don't remember hearing it in the theatrical version.
Oh, you mean the hall? Yeah.
So I'm I hadn't read the books when the movies came out, and everyone's talking about Meduseld, and in my mind I'm like, where's the snakes? Like, what are you talking about?
All right, let's move on.
You're expecting it to be Rohan, and you're like, oh no, it's the Golden Hall of Meduseld. Yeah.
All right, so here's an interesting matchup, and maybe one of the more interesting of the entire round. And one of the more close ones of the entire round. You had the 2nd seed, the first time Gandalf rides into the Shire, right? That whole sequence of him riding into the Shire. And then you have it versus Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli running through Rohan on their pursuit of Merry and Pippin.
And both of those are very scenic. I mean,
yes.
They kind of define the category.
So the question is, which one came out on top? It was a 54% for the winner.
I'm going to say Gandalf entering the Shire.
Nope, I'm the other one. Dude, the scenery and the sunsets that we see as the 3 members of the Fellowship chase their companions.
Yeah, but watching that, I mean, I was at the premiere, and when we followed the cart into the thing,
everyone loved it.
I jumped right off of the book cover, and my jaw hit the floor, and I never picked it up for the whole rest of the movie.
Yep. Well,
this just goes to show why Two Towers is my favorite of the films.
And the audience agreed with you. Running through Rohan.
Wow.
Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli.
See what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
All right, so looking at some of these matchups, we've got 2 Rohan matchups coming up. Starting at the bottom there. I think Eowyn's going to come out on top and beat that 15 seed.
Well, yeah, you got that Norwegian fiddle the first time when you hear the theme, you know.
You have next the Fellowship going over the mountains versus sailing past the Argonaut. That'll be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have the Fellowship seeing Rivendell in whatever combination it is versus Saruman's army. It's almost like a battle of good and evil there. Which one will come out on top? And then the
next one is also the same. I mean, lighting the beacons and Witch King.
Yep. I'm pretty sure lighting the beacons will take that one.
Sam Lance in the chat room says Gandalf says it when they first come across Rohan. He says the Golden Hall of Meduseld. I believe that's only in the extended edition.
Yeah, but you've seen the extended edition, Slacker.
I know, but I'm talking about in the theatrical version. Remember, the extended editions took over a year to come out, or just about a year to come out. I just remember
I make this a color
that that was not spoken in the theatrical version. But I might be mistaken, and maybe like all these names just flew over my head because I wasn't.
Gandalf gives them a big update as they're right when the three of them or the four of them are riding into Meduseld for the first time, and they see the banner on the ground. Gandalf is giving them the 411 on the politics of Rohan, and so Meduseld is I'm darn sure is mentioned in the movie as well.
All right, folks. So tell me something. Who wants to see? We have to choose one of these candidates that we'll reveal all at once because there's no way for me to, unfortunately, reveal slow. Oh, actually, that's not true necessarily. Hold on. No, it is true. I should have started on the other side.
I'm going to go to speaker view while you set up the next shot so we don't accidentally see
I can't do it that way. I can't do it that way. I wonder if I could do it on this one. Let me see.
This is our first live results show, and we're gonna figure out how to make it even more dramatic. If any of you watching are have any skills editing little audio clips, or have a drums in the deep, something that
or a little Norwegian fiddle.
Yeah, just a little like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kind of audio clip. Let's
actually, I think we can do this, but I think I have to share it from my screen, which is no problem. We're gonna do it. So
honestly, I'm gonna be honest here. On Dancing with the Stars, their results show music drives me up the wall. It's so annoying. It's
you guys see this?
TikTok.
There we go. Oh, so now we're in laughter, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, here we go. This is, again, the live results show for the first round of Middle-earth March Madness. We are in laughter bracket, and our number one seed...
Did this one change since the correction was made?
Hey, shh.
We don't talk about the past. We're talking about the present.
The
winners.
future.
All right, so we have the number one seed, Pippin to Aragorn. What about second breakfast? And then versus the 16 seed of Peter Jackson getting offed by Legolas's arrow, with 91% of the vote. We have a clear. Yeah.
It was 92 on Tuesday, so hey.
There you go.
PJ gained a little ground.
All right, so next we have two Merry and Pippin sequences battling in the 8th and 9th sequence.
That makes sense.
Merry
and Pippin are the majority of laughter.
So Merry and Pippin welcome Aragorn and Gandalf to Isengard. And then that's versus the 9th seed of Merry and Pippin find the Pipeweed stash at Orthanc. Oddly enough, it wasn't close.
Really? Wow.
Well, 64% of the viewers chose. Wait, I gotta go this way. Gotta go this way. Are you guys building up anticipation? And the winner was.
I like Welcome to Isengard, but
yeah,
I think
Welcome to Isengard.
It's funnier than Pipeweed Stash. I mean, they giggle a lot in the Pipeweed Stash, but Welcome to Isengard gives you that great reaction from Gimli and from Gandalf, and
yeah, it's more of a fellowship. Hey, someone in the chat room said who still watches the theatrical version. This is my DVD copy of the full screen theatrical cut of Lord of the Rings. This is
the pan and scan.
This is the pan and scan square version for your square TV.
Oh,
this is my favorite version of the Two Towers of my favorite movie.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so this one we have Bilbo reads the dwarves' contract and then faints in an unexpected journey at the 5th seed, and then versus the 12th seed of Gandalf to Pippin and Moria. Fool of a Took, throw yourself in next time and rid us of your stupidity.
I'm going to be honest. Like Lord of the Rings was so realistic and so dramatic that when Bilbo faints at the contract was it was tonally totally different. Like I felt like I was looking at the dramatic Middle Earth that we expected, but then Bilbo, like, doing a comedy fall like that. I don't know. I was kind of taken out of the movie.
But I definitely did not laugh at Full of Took because I knew it was coming. I was more of like, oh no, this is a bad sequence. So
I find Bilbo's more comical.
Yes, so do I. However, the audience disagreed, and with 68%, oh, don't go there, 68% of the vote, Full of Took moves on with the 12th seed.
The chat room was predicting it. It looks like everybody was voting for Fool of a Took.
All right, next up. So we have, is this Toss a Dwarf now? Yep.
No, this
Toss
is,
Me.
Gimli toss me and don't speak at all, Pippin.
Gandalf to Pippin outside Denethor's hall. It's better you don't speak at all, Peregrine Took. Versus Gimli to Aragorn. Toss me. And with 68% of the vote, any guesses?
Toss me. Has to be. Laughter?
Well, I mean, it is the 13th seed.
I like Don't Speak at All, Pippin. Because we get grumpy Gandalf.
But you're right.
Yeah, toss me.
The 13th seed came in. So look at the next matchup. It's the 12th and 13th seed against each other.
Full Took and Gimli toss me. Both of them somewhat inappropriate.
Right, but I think Toss Me will move on in that round. But let's go to the next one. So we have the Ent dipping his head in the water.
Oh my gosh. 6th seed. That was so good.
And that only counts as one.
Still only counts as one. Again, I'm going with my Two Towers team. Those are both Two Towers.
Yes, they are.
Well, no.
Counts as one is Return of the King because it's during Battle of Pelennor Fields.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So I'm going with Ent dips head in water. I laughed.
God, we're such geeks that we actually can pinpoint
Kathy?
Small bits of dialogue.
What do you think won?
Oh, I'm gonna go with counts as one.
Yeah, I also voted for that, and 79% of viewers agreed with us.
Lisa in the chat room says this one was hard.
Yes, because the visual, the Ent dips his head they sort of focus on it, but there's so much going on that if you're not really paying attention, you could have missed it.
Exactly.
I actually really liked during that sequence, Merry and Pippin tossing the stones and stuff like that because of the fact that they made a point in the books to mention how good hobbits are at throwing things and hitting their targets.
So next up is actually one of the bigger wins. The number 3 seed of the dwarves going in the barrels versus Legolas to Gimli. Can I find you a box?
Both involving dwarves.
Yep. 91% of the vote goes to
find you a box.
Yep. Find you a box. I want to know how these got so far off on the seating. Because again,
I think it was just in order of what they were. It was just I don't think the seating was done based on score. I think that the seating.
No, the seating is always done based on score. All these brackets.
Yeah, that's right. Christian Kronauer in the chat room says Ent Dip's head is his favorite wait for it moment in the Two Towers.
Because you know it's coming and you're waiting for the water and you're waiting.
All right, so next we have a sequence from the Desolation of Smaug with Boromir outrunning the dwarves to Beorn's house.
Oh yes, when he kicks into
but then it's up against the monster line from Pippin.
Where are we going?
At the council? So I'm pretty sure that was a clear victory there, but it was only 84% of the votes.
I loved Bomber, man. He like that. That was just a shining moment.
Again, another really great visual because it's it's not dialogue; it's just a visual joke.
As we talked about on the announcement show earlier this week, the entire barrel chase was supposed to be the climactic end of the first of 2 Hobbit movies. And I think, having that iconic hero moment with Bomber would have just made it more memorable and much more strong.
Yeah.
All right, so our final matchup in this bracket, we have Merry and Pippin light the big fireworks at the birthday party. And, Gandalf pulls their ears, And then we have the trolls discussing cooking the dwarves from An Unexpected Journey.
And that's all about snot and drool and just
Yeah.
ickiness. So I'm going with birthday fireworks.
Yep, with 81% of the vote.
Yep. Yay.
So we have some interesting matchups here.
Let's pull it out a little.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do it without revealing more.
Okay, all right.
Susan says, greetings from Fresno. Greetings from the bunkers of the OneRing.net. We've got 1 bag shot row, 2 bag shot row, and I'm in a cave with a bunch of weaponry.
I think that paused the share, right? Did that pause my sharing?
It's not moving. I can go to. I'll turn it off right now.
There we go. You don't have to turn it off. Hold on.
Oh, I went to that thing.
But it did pause correctly, so that was good. That's all.
Very good. So, guys, now that I'm bigger on the screen, my full screen 2 Towers edition, the pan and scan. This is probably the movie with the least amount of content you'll ever find, because it's cut off on both sides of the screen. It is not the extended edition.
Oh.
This is the best version to watch for it. This is the one that you put up.
That is definitely not the best version to watch.
No.
You put
this is what I think of your version. All right, so getting back to this bracket here.
The upcoming matchup.
We're going to look at the entire bracket.
Because I think we've got a lot of hobbits, particularly Merry and Pippin.
Yeah, we got Second Breakfast versus Welcome to Isengard. Yeah, Full of a Took versus Gimli with Toss Me. Counts as One versus Find You a Box.
So that's.
Oh, if I want old school cred, I gotta show the VHS. All right, challenge accepted.
I had the VHS and then I got rid of them.
And then the final one, Pippin, Where Are We Going versus Birthday Fireworks. So I'm pretty sure Where Are We Going is going to come out of it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of those include Pippin.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, I think Counts as One versus Find You a Box is a tough one. That's a tough one.
Are you telling me, but someone in the chat room just pointed out that The Hobbit got completely crushed in this bracket. Are you telling me that the movie that was supposed to be lighthearted and more funny is not more funny?
Well, Bilbo Faints is gone. Actually, looking at it, the trolls cooking and Bilbo are the only 2 Hobbit scenes.
Dwarves in the bottom barrels.
Oh, in the barrels, yeah.
Like I feel like that Hobbit should have dominated the laughter category.
All right, who's going to win at Full of a Took versus Gimli? Gimli will win that one, and Second Breakfast will come out as well.
Yeah, Second Breakfast for sure.
Ryan Buckley says there was too much forced humor.
Yes. Yep, I agree with that. My screen is paused now, right?
Yes, it's not moving.
How about right now? Is it moving?
Yeah. Fish in the Barrels was funny from The Hobbit. What? Fish in the Barrels? Oh, at the beginning of Desolation?
Yeah, in Lake Town. Yeah, on Bard's boat.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And Find You a Box, since that's a Legolas line, I actually hope it moves on, because how often do the elves are going to have a joke?
All right, we're back to the bracket, folks, and we're here in the action drama last setup. We have Eowyn versus the Witch King sequence, which is
That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
clearly a number 1 seed.
Versus Gandalf and the butterfly.
Yep.
And the giant eagle.
Well, it's actually, let me get to the actual description for you. Gandalf versus the Witch King in Return of the King versus Gandalf escapes Orthanc on Eagle. So
it's Eowyn versus the Witch King.
what did I say?
Gandalf.
Oh, yeah. I'm reading too much. And
Which only happens in the
83%,
movies because it didn't happen in the book.
83% of the vote goes to Eowyn versus the Witch King. No surprise.
Hey!
Yeah, no
surprise.
surprise.
And the only scene of any movie ever to actually pull me out of my seat screaming.
All right,
Just
so we
saying.
go to the 8 and 9 seed. We have Gollum going into the cracks to doom, falling into the cracks of doom versus. And by the way, I just saw a nice what's that? What's the headlines? A clickbait headline yesterday of an entity reporting a story from forever ago about how Peter had originally wanted Frodo to push Gollum into, and the headline of this clickbait article was like, something along the lines of Peter Jackson wanted Frodo to murder Gollum in the final sequence. Like it was like a total clickbait headline, it was new information. It was quite funny. But so you have Gollum in the 8th seed falling into the cracks of doom versus the first time Bilbo sees Smaug.
Smaug for me all the way. I love that scene.
Do you at the end? At the end of Desolation of is it like
yes,
or the eyeball?
It's when he first sneaks down when he steals the cup.
Yeah.
So it's the very first time he sneaks down and he sees the vastness of the hall. That was the first time we were really seeing the vastness of the hall, and then how big the dragon really was.
Yeah, but we're talking about the entire end of the ring here, folks. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So
the main focus of the entirety of the films.
Well, then
coming
it would have
to
been
an
better
end.
to announce it of not just Gollum falling into the cracks of doom, but the melting of the ring and the falling of the tower and the release of the.
Yeah, you're right. But Gollum's, this is like what, right before the end of everything. Like I can't see voting for anything else. Like,
Gollum is the only character
this is also
that.
the first time we saw Smaug. This is the first time everyone.
That's
got
right.
to see Smaug.
Look, and Gollum was the only character that did not get a fade out. Everyone else got a fade to white, fade to black, fade out. Like as
he got a fade out. It just happened to be lava.
And the winner is. Gollum
into the cracks of doom, the 8th seed.
See that there's so much bias against.
Do you guys think that was a close one? Do you think that was a close one?
I hope so.
It was not. Well, it was 64% voting for Gollum.
That's not close. I'm disappointed.
I don't know. I was really impressed when we saw how big that hall was, and the vastness and how big Smaug really was.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the 5th seed of Gandalf versus the Balrog, which is obviously a great sequence, versus the 12th seed, Aragorn and Theoden right out of Helm's Deep. I got to be honest.
Because it didn't scroll. It didn't move.
Oh, sorry. I was seeing it.
I am not.
Oh, did I already give that away? Let's see. No, there's.
Yeah, there you go. Gandalf versus Balrog and the ride out of Helm's Deep.
And the ride out of Helm's Deep, that's the one with Theoden and Aragorn riding down.
Yeah, Aragorn convinces them to ride out and
ride for Red, ride for Ruin.
That and they open the gate.
Dawn, that's Pelennor Fields.
No, this is the one where they're open the gates of Helm's Deep and they ride out through.
Oh yeah, and then it's like a pinball machines.
Right.
It's like pins falling.
Yeah, yep. as they're riding down the causeway.
I never was a big fan of that sequence, so I voted for Well, I mean, Gandalf versus the Balrog.
Gandalf and Fall.
The
yeah,
Balrog. It
Falling,
was probably the most secreted scene. It was probably the most anticipated scene in all of Fellowship. It was probably the Balrog was the most kept
But this
secret.
is the scene at the beginning of Two Towers when you see.
Yeah.
And here it says Fellowship.
Oh well, because he's fighting him in both movies. I personally, if you're doing a more scenic version of it, it's that drop with the choir singing.
Yeah, with the canyon. I mean, I'm sorry, the cavern.
Oh
and falling through. Yeah,
but both of them are great because him standing there on the bridge. I mean, that's epic too. Both of them are epic.
So
hey, I appreciate you guys calling the hotline. If you're a regular viewer of Torn Tuesday, you know we have a hotline 530-64-Frodo. That's really my phone number. 64-Frodo is my phone number.
All right, so we come into the next Boromir saving Merry and Pippin from the orcs. It's interesting. What if these end up Boromir's death from tearjerkers and Boromir saves Merry and Pippin from the orcs arrive together in the finale? Wouldn't that be a little weird?
That'd be interesting.
I don't know if that'll happen, but because they've got some stiff competition, but yeah.
So that's the 4th seed versus Smaug destroying Lake Town.
Yeah, and Smaug destroying Lake Town is pretty darn epic to see what he's doing.
So good. It was. I just
watched that the other day, actually.
But Boromir saving the hobbits is almost tearjerker category worthy. It's such a good scene, and facing off with Lurtz, it's just.
There's so much contextual.
Although here's my thing. My vote is compromised because, as Cliff loves to point out, Cliff Broadway, Smaug's destroying Lake Town should have been the end of Desolation of Smaug, and it's absolutely ridiculous that
it's the beginning
the film called The Desolation of Smaug
does have any desolation.
Show us the desolation of Smaug.
Exactly.
Like,
I know.
All right, so.
I can't vote for it on that basis alone.
Yeah, Boromir Saves the Hobbits is for me because it's him redeeming himself.
Yep. So there we go. We have Boromir Saving the Hobbits.
That Christopher Plummer guy sounds like that guy from Screen Rant. Chris, are you the guy from Screen Rant?
No. Who's Christopher Plummer, by the way?
Christopher
Plummer's my name is actually up there. That's really funny.
Christopher Plummer has been a Klingon. He's been in
he was in Star Wars: The Force Awakens,
Sound of Music,
Knives Out.
Edelweiss.
Exactly.
Edelweiss.
There you go, Chris. That's you.
All right, next one. We got the 6th seed, Riddles in the Dark versus Faramir's Charge. This one was particularly tough for me.
Because Riddles in the Dark is so iconic.
Yep. And Faramir's Charge is my favorite sequence in any of the films.
Which one's Faramir's Charge?
It's when Denethor is sitting there eating while Pippin's singing, and Faramir's...
And it's, they parade out of the city and everyone's throwing flowers because they know that most of them are not coming back.
Yep.
This is before the big Pelennor Fields battle.
This is the one where everyone dies except for Faramir, but you don't know that until he's dragged back by horse.
This is when they go back to the town as
Osgiliath.
Osgiliath.
Yeah.
Osgiliath. Yeah.
Yep.
That was. I felt that was overly dramatic in the movie. Not having read the book again, it was like, oh come on, this isn't even the final battle, and I know it is.
There's so much context. There's so much. The idea that the two sons of Denethor are going to be dead, essentially. Like Boromir and Faramir are both going to be dead, and Denethor has lost his mind.
According to Skylar White and other people in the chat room are saying this is the one chance the Hobbit could move forward.
Yes, as the Riddles in the Dark, but it probably won't happen because Faramir's Charge is a really good dramatic scene. But Riddles in the Dark.
So with 63% of the vote, yay for me.
Boo for everybody else.
The Hobbit, I'm telling you, what is with the anti-Hobbit agenda? I'm not I'm not about this right now.
5,500 people all colluded. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's fake news.
Oh, man.
All right, what's next?
All right, so next, what do we have here? We have
Riddles in the Dark was practically straight from the books. Jeffrey
It was so
Brown,
good.
Yeah,
thank
it
you.
was.
Andy
Thank
Serkis
you.
directed it. It was perfection.
it was a
It
really
was-
good scene, but it
If
wasn't
you
better
want
than
the
Faramir's charge.
most, if you want the most,
But that's not what this
Tolkien-
category is. That's not what this category is. It's not the most Tolkien
the
scene of
lack of respect.
No, this is drama and
Going here.
action. Drama and action.
Oh,
scene.
you didn't feel like Gollum was going to reach down and bite?
Yes, I
Bilbo?
did, but I was way more connected to Faramir. So you know what?
Okay.
Get over it, people. No, I'm messing.
Move down,
All right,
move
the next
down.
one.
Gandalf and Eomer charging the dawn of when the dawn
Yeah,
comes from
yeah.
Helm's Deep.
yeah. On
Helm's
the fifth day,
Deep
look to the
charge.
east.
And what ringwraith hunt are you talking about?
The Ringwraiths search for the hobbits. It's the classic
And then
sequence
there's
of
just
them.
the chase, the whole chase sequence.
Oh, the
Yeah.
horse chase?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, like with the tree, and then when they're chasing them to the ferry, and they all jump
The
on
actual,
the
but the
raft.
Kathy, the actual question reads: Ringwraiths search for hobbits hiding under tree.
Which is funny because it's Ringwraith singular. But that's
Yes,
just
that's
me.
true. That's true. It's when he's creeping over and the bugs all come out, and like that whole sequence.
I gotta
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
both of those are amazing. And
Gandalf and Eomer charge.
the
It's
Ringwraith scene was the first thing that they filmed on all of the trilogy. That was the very first thing ever filmed, and it was shot for shot remake of Ralph Bakshi's.
Yeah, it was pretty
film.
close.
Yeah.
Not even close. It's literally shot for shot. The colors, everything.
All right, so let's get over to.
I like Gandalf and Eomer charge,
Yeah,
but
yep.
that's me.
I mean, it's the drama of this, the sequence
It's
of that.
the music again. It's the sunlight. It's
Yep.
it's seeing Gandalf smile because he doesn't do it very often.
It's the CGIing out Arwen because she was supposed to charge down with the horses.
Thank you. Thank you.
They filmed Arwen
Yep.
charging down that mountain. And Chris, do you remember when those leaked set
I
photos
do.
came out?
Oh yes.
What was
I
the
do.
reaction?
It was. It
No.
wasn't as. Honestly, it was surprise. That's for sure. It split the staff. Let's just say
Well,
it
then, of
that
course,
way.
we still got 500 elf archers, so it's not like they were sticking
Yeah.
to the book a whole
Howler
lot. in that
shows
battle.
up. Right. Exactly. It was. Anyway, next up we have the Ents going to war, the 7th seed, versus Theoden's speech, which
Is this
is
the
when you're-
horse and rider speech?
Yes, this is where's the horse and the rider speech.
Which is so good.
Are they both from, again, Two Towers, the
They
best
are.
of the trilogy?
Yep.
Thank you,
They are.
everybody.
They are both
Even
from-
in full screen, this scene is amazing.
And this was a close one, and the
Yeah.
results to me were surprising.
This is the hardest one in the entire bracket.
No,
This
no, it
was the
wasn't.
toughest
No.
one for me.
Faramir versus Riddles in the Dark was the toughest. Come on now. Oh, for you, okay.
For me, like the Ents going to war, I had never seen a tree do that, and the music was just
Yeah, they got their own
amazing.
theme.
And they
Now, of
got their
course-
own theme.
For book purists, of course, the Ents didn't actually say, no, we aren't going to join this fight. They actually just, when the hobbits asked them, they said yes. They
Yeah.
had their conclave and they said yes, and they went off. So this one, obviously, you get your drama from the fact that they said no and then saw what was happening and had to change their mind. So you do have a dramatic, I can see why that was changed, but still.
All right.
Rose just popped in the chat room saying Xena Arwen.
Oh, yes. Well, yes.
Forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Charwin, you mean? Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, wait. Yes. No, we don't want to show pictures like, no, that's bad.
So Theoden's speech, Ents go to war. I'm going with the Ents.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Ents did. I'm surprised, actually. I thought they didn't
Yeah,
speech. would win
Theoden's
that
speech
category.
is fabulous.
It was actually a close matchup. You had it was 57% to 43%.
That was Bruce Hopkins played Gamling, and I believe that was one of his favorite moments on set because there was so much technical focus on just creating the right atmosphere. So shout out to Bruce Hopkins.
All right. So the final reveal of the evening.
It's
charge of the Rohirrim.
Yeah.
Yep. And the For Frodo charge at the Black Gate.
You know, I gotta go with charge of the Rohirrim because when they're coming down, it really creates fear in the enemy. Whereas with For Frodo at the Black Gate, they were so outnumbered. And I mean, I love the fact that the two hobbits were the first ones to follow Aragorn into that battle. But the charge of the Rohirrim changed things.
I also thought this would be a lot closer than it ended up being.
The chat room is split almost half and half for both of these. I will say this again, a technicality took me out of the scene. I don't know, the For Frodo at the Black Gate, it was so obvious, a CGI set, that I just couldn't, I still can't get into that scene. It just looks so fake.
Well, the look of Aragorn at that moment when he turns back to the good guys, right?
Yeah,
and he says for Frodo, for Frodo. That's pretty intense.
It is.
That's
but, you've got Theoden giving his speech and yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? When he says for Frodo, I mean that's an actual acknowledgement that he always knew what this was about.
Well, they had to distract. So, all right, and the winner. And my Photoshop file moved the text farther, so it's going to be even farther. See, it's not there.
Keep going.
The charge of the Rohirrim.
Yay!
There you go.
The music for the Rohirrim is so amazing. You're absolutely correct, Sam, in the chat room. Everybody in the chat room saying the music sells that scene. I agree.
Yeah. Again, there's a reason why somebody got a couple Oscars.
So let's look at the bracket here for the drama and action. We got Eowyn versus the Witch King versus Gollum and the Cracks of Doom.
Wow.
I think Eowyn comes out of there. I think she's appropriately seated at the number one seed.
Yeah, that's such an epic scene.
You have Gandalf versus the Balrog and Boromir saving the Hobbits.
Oh my God, that one's hard.
I think what happens in the voting of the survey is you're going to vote for Boromir's death earlier. So here it's actually going to come to people just being like, oh, I already voted for Boromir. So Gandalf versus Balrog is going to move forward, in my opinion.
Except for the fact that you've got Gandalf's death over on the other side as well in the tearjerkers.
Oh, yeah.
So people might be thinking, well, we've already voted for Gandalf's death, so why don't we go with Boromir saving the Hobbits? Because he saves the Hobbits, sort of. I don't know. That's a hard one.
Faramir's charge versus Gandalf and Aramir's charge. Interesting.
Yeah.
2 charges.
Lots of charges. No, 4 in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
Faramir's charge is more emotional than Gandalf and Aramir's, but Gandalf and Aramir's is an uplifting one. I mean, particularly with the sun coming up over their shoulders.
But drama and action is the category.
I know.
Faramir's charge definitely has drama and action.
Yeah.
And Gandalf and Aramir's charge has drama. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Someone in the chat room pointed out the charge of the Rohirrim should be a 2 seed, not a 15 seed.
It is a 2 seed.
Oh, no, he's correct. Yes, you're correct.
Thank you for keeping us honest. That's why I love this community.
Well, no, we got to fix these things.
Yeah.
I got 2 things to fix on this before we post it to the One Ring tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm opening up Photoshop right now to fix these.
Give us a full screen of the whole map, the whole bracket.
Hold on.
And Scud of War versus the charge of the Rohirrim. Gosh, that's
so here we are with the full bracket.
Nope. There it goes. Okay.
All right, folks. This is your second round. Will be up tomorrow through the weekend. You can vote on the second round of Middle Earth March Madness, and voting is open to all. The link to vote will be at theonering.net. We'll probably create a new post at the top of the page. You just click on that and find the link to hit the votes, and then we're going to go live again at the end of round 2, which is the evening of April 5th, and to announce the next round of winners. This has been a very fun results show.
Yeah, it's been good times.
Well, with the the Grey Havens being milled out, that was one of my final 4. So my bracket's already shot.
Oh man.
Oh really?
But second breakfast, lighting the beacons, and I don't know. I have to go back and look at my post. I know I posted my final 4.
Rose in the chat room says Eowyn will be the eventual winner of it all. But Matthew says lighting the beacons will be that.
No.
I think those will be the final 2.
So yeah, before we sign off, a couple questions from the chat asking, can anyone tell me how the initial seeding worked?
Yes. I sure can. So what we did was we took a list of all these sequences, put them into different divisions, as you see. And then each staff member at the One Ring had a total of 16 votes, 4 of each, 4 number 1 votes, 4 number 2 votes, 4 number 3 votes, 4 number 4 votes. Or just the evil Saruman guy over there. But what we did was then go through each bracket, assign a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to each scene. So if I thought a particular scene was great, I'd put a 1. If I thought it was okay, I'd put a 4.
No,
and
it's
then
the other way around.
No, it was 1s were the best.
No, because it adds up to the numbers. It's at addition. So 4 gets.
Oh yeah.
votes.
Sorry, you're right. 4 was. Thank you. 4 would get the most, and it would add those all up. So the scenes that had the most 4s obviously got higher seated in the bracket. So we had I think we had 8 or 9 staff members do that to get a diversity of seating. And we've done that now for a couple of years, and it seemed to be a pretty effective way to get the seating in place.
As we wrap up here, I wanted to ask the chat room, hey, if this Zoom thing, if we open up the Zoom to the entire chat room, do you guys want to like join the video chat? I'd love to see your wonderful faces.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
No, that's a Torn Tuesday thing.
That's a Torn Tuesday thing? All right, I'll do that for Torn Tuesday. I love this.
What's the so the next date is, so it goes live tomorrow and ends on Sunday. Can we see the little calendar again?
Yep. Go ahead and I'll share my screen here. Hold on.
Chris, you sound like Cliff.
I think that's an offense to Cliff.
He's a little bit more melodious.
There you go. So our next round is April 3rd through 5th, tomorrow through Sunday night, and then we're going to go another 3 days.
Monday through Wednesday, yeah.
Through the 8th, and then round 4 is April 9th through 11th. And the final champion will be announced on April 13th.
Well, April 13th.
Are you guys seeing this?
So that's the 5th round. That's the final 4. April 14 and 15 is the champion. So the 15th.
Yep. I want to show something real quick, just for Kathy, because you can see Kathy in this picture too. But I think someone alluded to this earlier.
What? Eowyn and Charwin.
I lost a bet in 2004 and had to present as Arwen in front of our orc convention.
You have no idea how fun it was to find that dress for you.
Yeah, and the wig and the bra. and the makeup.
I remember Debbie gave you your did your makeup in your ears
Yep.
formula. Yep.
And the other part of it was I had to go on stage and hand a statue to Billy Boyd. So I had
there was
never
lots
met
of
him.
pictures backstage.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So that a little bit of wondering history for your evening.
Ellen is giving you all the laughter emojis right now. Thank you, Ellen.
Yes, those were the days.
So-
But yeah, hey, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. And we'll try to do this again on Sunday night
and it'll be shorter because there'll be less.
Yep, there'll be less. Make sure you vote. Tell your friends about it. It'll also be, Justin, it'll be, we'll be linking it on our Facebook and Twitter and all those different areas as well.
Yes. Yeah. We'll keep sharing the link to vote, and it'll open up tomorrow, and you'll have till Sunday night. And we look forward to seeing what you all think about the next round.
Smiling, happy faces.
All right. Till next
Have a
time.
good
Thank
evening.
you.
Bye, guys.
See you.
You're having too much fun.